Hello, it's Vladimir Kramnik, and today going to continue with the second episode of the Drama Queen's Gambit. Um, I hope you watched the first one. If not, you can watch it before this, and then continue with this second episode, or maybe after the second one. So I was telling from the very beginning the whole story of my dispute with Chess.com and with Hikaru Nakamura. Um, so we went through the Hikaru stream in the first part, and I explained why it's all, frankly, just a joke. I mean, mathematically speaking, there are a lot of wrong things there, so you can again watch it. I think it's pretty clear by what I've shown in the previous video. So now basically I would like to share this one into two parts. The first one will be explaining how things proceeded a bit, and then not everything. Actually, I'm not going to go into details. There are a lot of ugly things happening, but finally the main part will be probably in the second part of this video, is just statistics, mathematics, okay, something serious, yeah, not the chess.com style, but a real true numbers and statistics. And then it's up to you to decide who is right in this dispute and what is happening. Yeah, I'm not going to convince you in anything. I believe the numbers which I'm going to present you, the true statistics, is very, very convincing. But okay, it's your choice. So I just want to inform you, because there was a lot of disinformation, misinformation, some kind of strange reports, which has very little to do with mathematics or statistics. So that's why I just want you to know what is the real situation, and okay, nothing more than that. So as I mentioned already, after the first my post on the 20th of November, I believe, then immediately Hikaru Nakamura started to make a lot of noise, started to play a victim, to play a drama queen. So he played this drama queen gambit, trying to switch attention from actually the numbers, the statistics, which had to be discussed, to some other subject, like I'm accusing him, or that started to shame, etc. Very typical method, PR method, to when you don't want to discuss actually the real subject. Yeah, you try to get it into some other direction to get the situation. That's how I see it, because there was nothing really simpler than just check it with mathematicians, preferably independent ones, and then if I'm wrong, they just tell it, and that's it, end of the story. Yeah. Instead, there was a lot of noise, shouts, and I actually published just the next day, on the 21st of November, when I saw that this kind of mess is starting out of nowhere, basically, out of nothing. I published my letter on my blog on chess.com. At that time, now I'm on Twitter, but so I published this one. I don't have it here. Okay, that is another one. So basically, I just will tell you very briefly what was it. It was actually just repeating what I've already said before, and what I'm saying now, that it's not, of course, an accusation. It's just pointing out the statistics, which is very, very abnormal, very low probability statistics, and that is true. And I can stand on it, and I can defend my point against anyone, any mathematician, against chess.com. I already, by the way, offered chess.com to have live conversation with whoever they want, Danny, Eric, Hikaru, the mathematicians, and just simply, we can discuss the probabilities and the numbers. Of course, they don't want to do it because, the simplest would be for them just to agree and to put in front of me some mathematician, and he would just destroy me and make fool of me, and that will be the end of the story. Yeah, very logical, but for some reason they don't want to do it, and the reason is, there is only one reason, believe me, because I'm right, because any mathematician or anyone else just cannot defend this position. When it gets to numbers, to logics, there is no way they can defend. So I guess the PR agency, they choose as a very typical strategy is pretending that I'm crazy, that I don't understand anything in math, and that this is all nonsense. And suddenly some mathematicians appeared who were proving Chess.com point or Hikaru Nakamura's point with actually completely wrong parameters, completely wrong calculations, which I actually was pointing out. And funny thing was that all of them were actually very quickly disappearing, because I would answer some and give my point of view and start a discussion. They would start, and then at some point they would somehow disappear, just because there is nothing. There are no more arguments, because I was pointing out that first of all it's not about one streak but many streaks, and not 50,000 games but much less games, etc., etc. Very obvious things. And then soon for example, there was this gentleman, Quelli, I think is his name, and Hikaru and Chess.com, they were referring a lot to his researches concerning Title Tuesday and Hikaru streaks, etc. And he was standing on the Chess.com position. But actually, I at some point I wrote him. I said that you make actually quite a lot of mistakes in your. Not mathematical mistakes. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not a mathematician. I have knowledge of mathematics, but I'm not a mathematician. It's very much about parameters which you choose. So if you choose wrong parameters on purpose, or just because you don't know the specialty like chess, then whatever great mathematician you are, you will get to the wrong answers. That's the point. That actually there were a lot of, for example, all of them, or at least majority of them, were examining one streak, but there was not one streak, there were many streaks, and you will see it now later in the second part of this video. So it already makes no sense, because the answer, whatever correct calculation you make with numbers, but if the numbers are wrong, the answer will be false. It will be a wrong answer. So that is the point. That and for example, this Mr. Queller, we communicated a bit. Yes. So, and at some point, he just asked me if I can provide some more data on Hikaru streaks. I provided those data, and he said that he would like really to check all the streaks and to see what are the probabilities and so on. So I provided it, and I asked him kindly. We had a very nice conversation, and I asked him if he could please provide me his answer, his calculation, and that was the end of it. So he just disappeared. Why disappeared? I guess why. Because he knows, he's a mathematician, he knows the answer, And so then I wrote him later on again. We had a very kind of conversation, very polite. I wrote him that, if you could please, if you did it already, I guess it's not that difficult for a mathematician of a high level, to make it. So I waited for 1 or 2 weeks and then wrote him that did you check it? Could you please provide? So no answer at all. And since then, no answer. So, no answer is an answer very often. So that is the situation. That okay, when it gets to a real discussion, to the numbers and probabilities, then somehow they all disappear. I mean, I don't know, very strange situation, but somehow they cannot keep up the conversation, or they don't want to. So okay. Anyway, I can just repeat that I am open to speak to any serious mathematician. If you want live on stream, and we will discuss it. And to Chess.com as well, but of course they will not agree to it, and it's, to me, I know very well why they will not agree. But anyway, doesn't matter. So what I mean is that yes, so I was. So they were trying to avoid talking about numbers, about statistics actually, and at some point, especially Hikaru, he just went already all in and started to insult, to tell absolutely terrible thing, which actually anyone publicly, any respectable person just cannot allow himself to tell. So I'm going to present you a couple of very short videos that I will not comment on it. Of course, when he talks about some issues, I mean, he's just lying or manipulating. But just pay attention. I'm very sorry because I find it really disgusting. But just to show you, I'm sorry that if you find it also unreasonable, this video. But just for your information, I mean, just to show you what kind of culture and arguments Hikaru Nakamura started to use at some point. Due to, I suppose, lack of any logical arguments. So here it is. Again, I would like to apologize for that, but I believe that you should know your heroes, let's say. So that one was the first one, actually very soon after I started to publish my statistics, and then the second one was a couple of months later. So, okay, I will not comment on it, just listen, it's not long. So this is the first one.
Kramnik clearly has lost his mind, unfortunately. He presents zero statistics, and as I said many times, I think he's just full of shit. Sorry, I said it. That's just all that needs to be said. Says literally nothing here. He's already, even if he tries to pretend he hasn't accused people, he's already accused Borden, he's already accused Jocelyn, he's already accused Lazovic, and I think he's also accused Andreikin of cheating as well, with his quote-unquote statistics. So, the fact of the matter is, he doesn't know what he's talking about, he's making stuff up, and it's very sad to see that someone who is not a statistician, is not a mathematician, someone who is a great chess player, former world champion, unfortunately, has lost his mind. That's the bottom line for what I have to say, really, in general terms about this. It really is very sad to see. Because, frankly, he just doesn't understand what he's talking about.
Okay, this was the first one. Would be just laughable if it wasn't so sad, because, okay, I mean, Hikaru forgets that he represents chess also, and this is a really bad advertisement in general for chess. But the second one is even worse. With this very intellectual smile, he's telling things, to the audience, which a lot of his audience are kids, and this is just, to me, it is just shocking and totally unacceptable.
By the bishop, the wooden shield dominates. He plays it. Kramnik's gonna accuse you of giving Jocelyn moves, yeah. Kramnik can go fuck himself. Pardon my French, but yeah.
Sorry for that, but that is what happened, yeah. Unfortunately, we have such people nowadays in the world of chess. I mean, frankly, for me, it's very depressing to see. I could never imagine, when I was starting playing chess in the 90s or 2000s, that somebody from the top chess players could publicly speak in this fashion, in this manner, and it just was totally unthinkable. Can you imagine Kasparov or Anand telling something like that? I mean, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. But so I don't know, where are we now? Where is the world of chess now? And where we are heading to? I mean, if we have such people who are, well, let's be frank, Hikaru Nakamura is one of the most popular chess players nowadays in the world, and has a lot of subscribers, and yeah, he allows himself to speak like this. Well, this is really embarrassing. I mean, and of course, also, if I was a chess.com, if I would be working on chess.com, I mean, this person would be immediately out, I mean, of the platform, because that is just unacceptable. Yeah, because this is very damaging. First of all, for him, he doesn't even understand how damaging is it for him, but also for the world of chess in general. Yeah, I believe. But okay, let's forget about it. So then what I did is I decided to make a petition, which actually was finally signed by quite a good number of people. 2,500 people signed this petition. I will read you now the text of it, and we will probably move slowly but surely to statistics, to numbers. So here is this petition. This is the text. I think it was published on the site change.org. It's the most famous site. You see more than 2,500 signatures actually were collected in a couple of weeks only. So yeah, this is the text of the petition. Very clear. Again, repeating what I always said. I mean, nothing new. But okay, so I will read it for you. With this petition, we, the chess.com players, ask the administration of the platform to perform a detailed examination of Grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura due to his recent numerous streaks of 40 plus games on the platform, where he showed performances much above his rating, and publish the detailed report afterwards. We would also like to ask, that is very important, that such an examination be performed automatically in all similar cases, because in any such case, players might have reasonable concerns and the right to be reassured that chess.com is doing everything in its power to provide fair play conditions to all its members. In order to make things clear, again, here also it's important, because that, you know, you just cannot misunderstand this sentence. What is said here, that in order to make things clear and avoid misunderstandings, this statement is not an accusation nor anything personal against the above mentioned chess player, but rather an attempt to improve the situation and request that the efforts in this field be greater. So this was, I mean, I think everything is pretty clear here. Yeah, well, everything is logical and clear, and I'm just repeating the same thing which I was saying. Of course, that is what I meant, that is what I want, and I believe it's very logical. Yeah, so of course, well, then finally chess.com was actually kind of forced to react somehow, because 2,500 people, yeah, not so little, they tried to play these games that those are bots mainly. Actually, it's not true, because simply you know, you couldn't sign this petition. You had to register, and you have to give your email. So you can only have one signature unless you open specially an email to sign. Yeah, so nobody is going to do it just for fun or whatever. So those are real people, and because it actually makes sense, everything what I mean here. Yeah, so okay, so then they were like kind of as I understand, started to panic a bit, because, you know, it starts to get out of control. They felt like everything is under control. They just provide the mantras about fantastic anti-cheating system, that everything is perfect, 1% of cheating there, and suddenly people start to question, yeah, because it doesn't fit at all with reality. Okay, so then they published finally a report, some kind of report, which was really, well, that was quite something. I think it was a big mistake from chess.com. It was already better to not to tell anything, because this report had nothing to do with mathematics and logics. I mean, it was just making no sense. And I will just present you now my answer to chess.com. By the way, they never answered back, so it basically means that they, in a way, that they agree with what I say, and it's quite logical. You will see now that yeah, there is nothing to say for that. So then they learned from their mistake, and well, I would expect a respectable company would just apologize, and published already a serious report, something which at least remotely reminds mathematics, but they simply stopped talking about it. I mean, they just forgot about this whole story. So okay, which means that, well, they don't know what to do, what to say now, because there is nothing to say, actually, in my opinion. Okay, I will show you. So they published this this report, if you can call it a report, regarding recent accusations. So already manipulation in the name of it, in the headline of it. Of course, there are not accusations, as I explained already. And then, so actually there are only a couple of sentences which are interesting here, because at the beginning they just talk how good are they about anti-cheating, how serious they take it. Okay, this is already, we all know. I mean, no point to even to listen to it. And then this is what is interesting. Here's the last part of it, signed by Danny and Eric, the well-known mathematicians. So it says, in the case of the recent accusations, of course, accusation, again, lie, actually, and manipulation, as you know already, against Hikaru Nakamura by Vladimir Kramnik, we can say that we have generated nearly 2,000 individual reports on Hikaru's game, etc., and found no incidents of cheating. Okay. As to the allegations about Hikaru's incredible performance streaks, so they actually, first of all, they say that they're incredible, they admit it, and performance streaks. So they are telling here that they were examining the streaks. They don't tell how many, actually, which they should, of course, if it would have been a serious report. But anyway, they're explaining that that's what they examined. In brackets, I mean, including winning 45 and a half games out of 46. We have also looked at the statistics behind this. Okay, very interesting. So tell us, what did you look at? Our team has done the math and various simulations of streaks of a player like Hikaru, okay, who has played more than 50,000 games. Well, first of all, it's not only about the player of Hikaru, it's pretty much about the position which he had. This they don't mention, but there is nothing, I mean, this 50,000 games is a complete nonsense. There are no 50,000 games. I mean, it's very obvious that since all those tricks were performed in 3-0 time control, it's clear that you cannot take all games, classical games and rapid games, because even at minimum, because there is a different rating there, it's a different rating system on chess.com, so, and FIDE as well. So I mean, you cannot even calculate it because ratings are different. And 50,000 games is a wrong number. It's actually a number of all games Hikaru ever played on the platform. So to start with, if you have to, I mean, since you have to calculate, obviously, to take only 3-0 games, then it's already, at that time at least, it was, I think, less than 30,000. So it's already like 40+% less, which makes the whole test a priori wrong, because this would give a huge difference in probabilities. So it just doesn't make any sense already if you take 50,000 games. But then the best, this is not the best part of it. So they say we have found that not only is a 45 game winning streak possible, but in fact likely given the number of games played. Well, sorry, but you took the wrong number, but did you notice? So now they're talking about one streak. They're talking 45 game winning streak possible. But guys, what is it? Is it kindergarten or it's mathematics? I mean, you were starting that you investigated streaks, examined, and now you are telling that one of those actually numerous streaks, you are going to see it just in a minute. Yeah, I will explain you everything about the amount of streaks, statistics, and so on. So the one of those streaks in 50,000 games, which is a completely wrong number, is likely, not only possible, but likely. But this is just a logical fallacy. Yeah? I mean, it has nothing to do with mathematics or just basic logics, because actually you are contradicting, chess.com is contradicting themselves. You know, in the first sentence and second sentence are contradicting each other, and there is a wrong number, 50,000 games. And okay, they say that we have confirmed these results with external statistician, including a professor of statistics of a top 10 university. Well, would be nice to get the name of this person. I would gladly speak with him about it, because I'm sure any mathematician, can have nothing to do with it, because he would never allow such nonsense, illogical and mathematical nonsense to be published. I have no doubt it has nothing to do with a mathematician. So would be nice to know the name of this person, if he exists at all. With the deepest respect for former world champion Vladimir Kramnik, in our opinion, his accusations lack statistical merit. Well, first of all, not accusation. Secondly, no, it doesn't lack statistical merit, and I will explain you now why. So, I mean, this is the only thing which they published on this issue, and well, it's very obvious that it just makes no sense. I mean, I tell what it is, yeah, and I can prove it in any audience, let's say in any auditorium, that this doesn't make any sense. Simply, it has nothing to do with anti-cheating research and so on. Yeah, it's simply a joke, basically. So, and then I gave my answer on it. Well, I just told it, okay, this is simply a joke. I explained the reasons, and I demanded them to actually make a new one without obvious mistakes, and to publish it in detail with mathematical numbers and so on, which they never did. Okay, now, so that is by far not the end of the story, but for the moment, okay, enough of this nonsense. Let's come back to the real business now. So now we are going to talk about mathematics, statistics. I'm going to present you a lot of very important statistics and explain why I demand the examination and why I believe it's absolutely necessary in any such case, whether it's Nakamura or me or any other player, that a serious examination has to be done if we actually take at least a little bit seriously anti-cheating measures, because the mathematical probability is very, very low. And so now let's move to the maybe for somebody most interesting, maybe for somebody most boring part, but here you will see numbers, formulas, probabilities.